Hey guys, Hydra here, and guess what? Singularity is also here, and it sucks big time. Singularity is just bad. It's almost so universally accepted right now, and it is so obvious to almost everyone that even Behavior have acknowledged that Singularity requires a buff, and not even 3 days after this killer's initial release, we already know that it will get another round of buffs. Probably these buffs will arrive on the same day as the Twisted Masquerade event, and they are the following. First, now there will be only 4 crates for EMPs instead of 5, and these crates will print EMPs for 100 seconds instead of 90 seconds as it is now. Next, after a biopod is deactivated using an EMP, it will stay deactivated for 45 seconds instead of 60. The next change is regarding the EMPs themselves. The use timer is now 2.5 seconds instead of 2 seconds. And also, all the time where you hold the EMP charge, you get a slowdown of 10%. And this already looks like a clown's power that is embedded into Singularity's power. And yet still, I don't believe that after that, Singularity will get that much better to change his terrible kill rates, which are right now sitting at 40% for an average player, as you can see on Nightlight GG. What's wrong with Singularity? Well, to put it simple, right now, and that's kind of the situation that we will be getting after the buffs, right now, Singularity feels worse than Skull Merchant against solo players, much easier to deal with him than with the Skull Merchant. And if you play this killer against teams, you feel like you're fucking Trapper. It is terrible. It is almost impossible to beat a good team with this killer. It's just, even mediocre teams still excel against Singularity. And the thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that the killer literally just arrived. It is a hard-to-master killer, yet somehow survivors already understand how to outplay hacks. This shouldn't work this way. Never should a killer be easier to play against than to play as. This is stupid. This should at least be close to being equal. Nurse is a hard-to-master killer. It's a hard killer to pick up even. And it is hard to play against the Nurse. Is she broken? Yes, but at least some balance is here. However, this guy, this is how hard he is to master, this is how easy it is to outplay him. So let's get into the reasons why this killer is so terrible. And the initial idea is that EMPs are overpowered and omnipresent still. The problem I faced with Hux is, despite the fact that his power looks like a setup one, you get 8 cameras and you need to place them around the map, maybe to control some objects, some gens, some choke points. If you do that, you give survivors a lot of time to pick up EMPs, despite the initial 90-second timer. The same will happen with a 100-second timer. It takes time to place your biopods. So the best way to play this killer, at least in the beginning of the game, is to rush into action, to find a survivor, to infect them before any of the EMPs appear on the map, and make survivors waste time to open crates while you do this chase. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. Why investing more into preparing for the game rewards you less than not preparing at all? Why is this power so easy to counter when you try to use it as it should be used probably? I'm sorry, I don't understand it. But that's not all. The EMPs are extremely broken, and we found a reason for that with my friends. You see, there was a suspicion that maybe the sphere you get when you start charging an EMP doesn't actually show you the range of its action. And indeed it doesn't. It does show you the radius of its action, but it doesn't show you the height. EMPs act like this. They are not a sphere, they are a cylinder. A cylinder with a fixed radius and endless height. It never ends. It's just war. Where's the end for that? We tested that on Toba's Landing. We had a basement under the main building, and I asked one of my friends to place a biopod on top of the 3rd floor, as high as this killer can. And so another friend went down into the basement and pressed an EMP there. And even before they did that, I could already hear the sound beep, beep, beep. If you didn't know, this sound shows you that inside your EMP range there are objects that can be disabled by the EMP. And yes, indeed, when I got back to the upper floor and asked my friend downstairs to press an EMP, the biopod got turned off. Why? Why? Why does it work like this? Actually, I know the reason for this, but it is stupid anyway. And it is even more stupid if you consider the fact that Hux himself has a limit to how high he can place his cameras and the limit to their detection. It's a radius of 20 meters, and the maximum height from Hux's position to place a camera is 5 meters. You can actually place it higher, you can, but it's useless. And the question is, why does this 5-meter limit even exist if EMPs don't have a height limit? Why? Why does this exist? Why, when you want to place a biopod on top of saloon, you have to manually go to the 2nd floor? Why do you have this limit? Can you explain this to me? Can somebody explain this to me? I don't know why. This is outrageous, I'm sorry. And that's not over. You see, the question that arose from this testing was, why the fuck do we even have this sphere if it doesn't show you the range of EMPs, the actual range? Well, it's extremely simple. This range, actually, this sphere shows you the range in which you will see your fellow teammates when they are infected by blobs. A literal yellow aura will appear on your screen if there is a teammate inside this range when you activate an EMP with a blob on it, on them. Why do we need this? Well, that's easy. So that solo players don't have any trouble dealing with this killer. You can coordinate with your teammates because you see them through walls! How is this okay? How is this okay? Why didn't I see Odzarva talking about it? Why didn't I see anyone talking about that? But I've seen people talk about his insane potential, Singularity's insane potential. Insane potential to what? To suck? Yeah, I guess like that. I guess it's this. Oh my god. And we are still not done. With all the trouble the Singularity has to go through to use his power, it has a lot of other problems, not only with the EMPs. First one is detection. There's a range limit, I don't know why it even exists, but there is this limit. And apart from that, there's the fact that you need to see a survivor as a whole. You need to see the whole model to place a blob on them. When you look at a survivor, somehow hidden partially behind a texture, you see the white outline, meaning that your power sees the survivor, but you can't place a biopod on them. And this is extremely easily abusable in chase. Like, I just don't get it. You just go there, you crouch as a survivor and look at Hux watching at you from his camera. You can teabag, you can point at him, you can do whatever. He won't be able to use his power on you unless you do something stupid and get fully exposed to the camera. This is not okay. I've seen survivors through textures, through holes in objects, which I probably would have been able to stalk through using Ghostface or even Myers, whose detection is just extremely bad. But no, I can't do that as Singularity. No. You need to see a survivor straight in front of you, in the 20-meter radius, just so you don't have an easy time infecting people. It's not like EMPs are everywhere. It's not like they act like the nuclear bombs when you press them and disable everything around. No, they definitely don't do that. Because why would this be in the game otherwise? I don't get this detection. And what's worse, Hux's power is extremely prone to using auto-aim when you try to use this power. And this brings trouble as well. Oftentimes, when trying to do something cheeky, like use your power similar to Hunter's Hatchets, using it through a window with this angle, you just won't be able to, because your power will try to place a biopore. It somehow will prioritize placing a biopore around the window rather than shooting a survivor who is running in this window. You can see the survivor, but you can't aim at them. Why is it so? I don't know. I just don't know. Also, if you didn't know, there's a limit to Hux's teleportation, which is around 24 meters, which again to me is extremely stupid, because 24 meters is the distance I can clearly see survivor from, and 40 meters is also the distance I can see a survivor from clearly. Why do I have this limit? Why do I have so much limits when playing this killer? Why? So yeah, Hux is bad, Hux requires help, and it's much more than what he's getting. Much more than what he's getting. And honestly, I believe that Hux has a huge potential to become a disaster for the game. I mean, School Merchant feels bad. People don't like playing against School Merchant, it's hard to coordinate when you are solo players and face this killer. I get that. Right now, Hux is not that. He's been designed in a very smart way, I guess. It is an ADHD type killer. You need to do something constantly. You aim here, you place a biopod there, you shoot at a survivor, you teleport, you break pellets while teleporting through them, you place another biopod, you infect, you teleport, you watch, you see, you watch, you go, you do something, you are constantly in action. You don't stand in one place, never you do that as Hux. And also, this killer is easy to outplay even as a solo killer. It's a solo survivor. So while killer players, streamers are having a good time doing a lot of stuff constantly, survivors are having a good time dealing with this guy. Except probably most people playing Hux don't have a good time as him. Even with his best builds, even with his best add-ons, probably people are not having a good time. If you look at the kill rates, 40% is... I mean, even Trickster has 46. And that should tell you a lot. But after ranting about all of this, I'm still not over. I'm still not done. And before we move to the next part, if you love this video, like it and leave a comment with your thoughts. And now we are getting to the part that annoys me the most. You see, why did I say that Hux has a potential to be a huge disaster? Because if you tweak him even more, you turn him into Skull Merchant, but worse. Imagine a world where you only have 3 EMP crates on the map, and they print these EMPs for 110 seconds. How do you feel about that? Do you think that this is fair? Do you think that having so low ability, not the way to talk about it, how would you feel knowing that at any given moment of the match, at least one player will be exposed to Hux's power? Always. There will never be a situation where 3 people have an EMP and the last person can just go and grab it. He'll have to have had it previously, have found it previously. Do you feel that in this occasion Hux will become extremely oppressive, especially as a 3-gen killer? Do you think that having 3 or 4 EMPs at a single moment? Goddammit, even if you have 7 EMPs, 3 in crates and 4 on people, Do you feel that in case Hux just uses his power to protect gens, this will be enough EMPs to disable all of his traps, all of his cameras? And if they reboot in 40 seconds and in 35, do you feel like this will be fair to the survivors? Will you have fun playing against this killer if it becomes this oppressive? And why am I talking about these very specific numbers? Well, because they are just the logical continuance to what Hux is getting now as buffs. Just tweaking the numbers won't do a good job here. Hux needs to be changed in a major way probably, for him to not be a 3-gen menace and yet still to be fun to play as and against, to be good in chase and not be that good as a 3-gen protector. Любовь моя. And the way BHVR are managing it right now just won't do the trick. I don't know if you agree with me, but at least I hope that in all of this ranting, you got the idea I'm trying to present here. And with that, I'm probably over. This video has concluded. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next one. I hope this will be better news next time. Now, goodbye.